I have absolutely no coding background, but over the past 3 months, I've made the websites that I've always been dreaming of, and even my first mobile game. It has revenue, it has players. I couldn't be prouder. So if you are curious, like I was, on how to use AI to actually build your ideas, this is the video for you. I have used the rest of the tools, Claude Code, Cursor, even Anti-Gravity, but we don't have to talk about that one. The simplicity, the response, the speed, I really like Codex, and it's only getting better all the time. So I don't want to waste any of your time, and I want to talk about the money as the very first thing in this video. I'm super cheap, I hate spending money. So when I tried to sit down and use AI to build my first game, I went to ChatGPT, and then I would copy and paste blocks of code, and I thought that I was cooking. But as the errors stacked up, as the UI spaghetti fell apart, I soon became helpless again. This is the issue with trying to use a free ChatGPT plan to accomplish building with AI. Just don't even go there. $20 a month. If you're serious about building something, you might have to go up a tier. But I will tell you how to use your tokens as efficiently as possible otherwise. So let's actually jump into Codex, briefly look at the UI here. We have our main box. This is what feels just like ChatGPT if you were visiting it on a browser. This is where you can type your prompts. You can choose your model. This button here is very powerful because it allows you to choose how much of your subscription you want to use on any given prompt. Now, if you're using a $20 plan, it might make sense for you to bring your reasoning down to light. Like, yeah, make your model dumber. Use some of the older models like 5.4. Usually they are cheaper to use like that. One thing that I suggest never doing is toggling your speed to fast. It doesn't make your answer better, it just makes it come out faster. It's significantly more expensive to do so. For today's use case, I'm going to be setting my setting to medium and GPT 5.5 because 5.6 is not out yet at the time of recording this video. This was recorded in the past, obviously. If you click this microphone here, you can even speak your prompts. This is probably how I do 80% of my prompting. I try not to use my keyboard anymore because, after all, we're talking to a language model, right? And here it is, pretty good. You could even see where I redid a line twice. Over on the left side of the box, there's a couple of buttons. Depending on how brave you are, you're able to change this setting so that Codex is allowed to go into your entire computer or not. After you use Codex for enough time, you'll figure out that you can trust it and switch it to full access, but I'm not the one that told you to do that because there are risks involved. There's so many horror stories of AI going off the rails and deleting people's entire hard drives, so I wouldn't do it at first, but maybe with a little bit more experience, go up to full access. For this video, I'm going to leave it on full access. This plus button here is very important. I personally hardly ever use it, but if you have files with important context that you want your model to know while it's building for you, like a PRD file, for instance, or a design file that you already have made. By the way, if you have these things, you are probably way ahead of the game. You know what you're doing. Plan mode is actually very interesting. I'm going to click that now. As we work on our first example of building something in this, we're going to stay in plan mode until we're ready to execute. Plan mode stops the model from changing files and writing code before you're ready to do so. And then choose project down here is actually very important. This allows you to point Codex at an actual folder on your computer. I'm going to start a new project here by starting from scratch. So welcome to the new project. We are going to make first a website about mowing lawns. Maybe you're a teenager, or maybe you have a teenager who is thinking about making a little bit of extra money this summer. And if they have a website, that might be a really cool way to get extra business. Lawn mowing website. Save. All right, we are actually ready to vibe code at this point. And like I said, I'm not going to be using the keyboard to do this. I'm going to dictate to it, and you're going to hear exactly the kind of prompt that I would use in order to accomplish building this website. You might be surprised at how rambly, how candid you can be, and how long you can talk, and what the results are. So watch this. By the way, I'm making up every personal detail about myself in this, but seriously, I want you to see how bashful and humble and dumb you can be and still accomplish building whatever you want. Hi, Codex. This is my very first time using you, so I honestly have no idea what you're able to do. So please help me because I'm trying to get some extra money this summer. I'm 16 years old, and I live in the middle of Montana. I don't want to give you my address, so just like pick like a random neighborhood in Montana. And I'm trying to mow my neighbors' lawns for money. And I want like a professional looking website. So I picture like me being able to like give people my website and for them to like be able to call my phone number. So just put like a fake phone number on there for now. And once I like the website, I'll give you my real phone number. And I guess I want people to like think that the website looks pretty cool. So I think that there should be some blue sky, like a real picture of houses and cut grass. Maybe one side of the website could be like ugly bad grass, and then the right side of the website could be beautiful cut grass so that they can know what they're getting. I want them to know that my price is $35 to mow a lawn, and that I bring my own lawnmower to cut their grass. And I'm all out of ideas on what I might have on this website to convince them to buy my services. So give me a big plan or suggestions of other things that should go on this website. Or maybe like a picture of me and things that you need from me in order to accomplish this. And once I'm good with the plan, then we'll make the website. Okay. You heard that. That was ridiculous. Like, imagine me talking to a professional coder for what I wanted. It's got all my words here. I'm not even going to read it. I know that there's typos in this. I know that it misheard multiple words. I'm just going to send it. What blows my mind every single time is that I can say the wrong words. It can hear the wrong words. Anything. I can stop a thought mid-thought and keep going. And Codex will figure it out. I am completely serious. If you are typing to Codex and you are still backspacing your typos, stop that. You're wasting time at this point because seriously, it doesn't need you to be grammatically correct. Oh, wait, it's already done. I'll peek at the folder so the plans match what's wrong. Okay, so it thinks that I have got files in this folder. I don't. But wait, it's actually built a plan here. So I just clicked on that plan and it pulled it open in this side panel. So I can go through this. And if I cared a lot about this website, I might. But I'm not going to read this. I'm just going to say, yes, implement the plan. But if I had looked at it, I'd be able to change ideas inside it, or like it made an assumption about me and I know that it's wrong. So, change the direction. And then Codex gets to work. It's been going for 15 seconds and it tells me its intentions. It's going to build the files that it needs for the site inside of the folder, just using HTML and CSS. And you don't need to know what that means, but honestly, I think that as you work with these tools, you will get to learn what these mean, just naturally. So here's the fun part of vibe coding. Actually, this is kind of not the fun part. At this point, Codex is doing all the work. I just get to sit here and wait. Basically, put this in the oven and I will cut this video and I will wait for this next step to get done, and then I'll show you the results. Oh, yep, there it is. It's done. It took 4.5 minutes. Think about how long it would take you to build this website, and you'd have to know how to code it in the first place. In order to open it, I am going to click index.html. Okay, wow, very, very plain and ugly. And in fact, I'm going to go up to this button up here to open it up in a real browser to see what it's like. It opened up on my side monitor, and I'll open it up here. Look, okay, very plain. Honestly, when it comes to getting business, this can function. Out of the box, this can function. I would actually like to iterate on this and change this. So we're going to do one round of changing just to show you what that's like. But you can scroll down this website and it's entirely real. It's got this fake phone number up here. I forgot to give my business a name and it just named it for me, okay? It's got Big Sky Lawn Mowing. If I were to actually follow through on this, I would I would create some logo around this and use it. So as we scroll down the website, we've got one offer here, $35 per mo. Maybe that, that kind of gives me some ideas. Maybe there should be some extra offers or something like that. Simple, dependable yard help. Okay, so this looks really ugly. It's like wrapped onto 2 lines. Reliable summer mowing, set a time, and I will show up ready to work. So we've got like some blurbs of like extra things, but they look pretty bad. Maybe this is what I'll call out on our next iteration. So seriously, I really mean this. This website functions right now. I encourage you to not just ship the very first thing that you see though. If you're just like ready to go mow some lawns though, this is already ready. I'm going to go into the microphone and I'm going to say something like, I scrolled down the website and I went into the Why Neighbors Call section and I don't like it. The simple, dependable yard help is on 2 different lines. I think that should be like on 1 line. I think it should be more stylistic. I don't like the boxes around the little quotes. It kind of feels kind of awkward. What if there was like a little bit of motion and movement? And I don't know, just give it another try. I think that maybe it should be like white text against a black background bar for that section. Just a little like bolder approach. See how nebulous that instruction is? I don't even know what I'm thinking when I say something like that, but I'm gonna send Codex on it. It's going to have to figure out an answer, and we're gonna see if it looks better right after this. Now, if we're doing something very low stakes like a website, it's okay to just start a project and run it this way. But if you're making anything bigger or a website that you want to maintain and take seriously, wait a minute, look. Here's one of the funnest things about Codex. You get to watch it actually complete tasks on your computer. That little black cursor right there, that's Codex itself using its cursor. On other more advanced projects, you'll see it actually testing its features as it builds in front of you. It's one of the most fun parts. And look, this website already looks cooler, right? And it even took a green theme because, of course, this is a lawn mowing website after all. But as I was saying, websites and programs and games are actually a series of files. And to change things in the game, you actually have to change the file. You should not be trusting an agent to change valuable files forever. Unrevertible. That's why you need to use something called version control. Look into GitHub. That's not what this video is about, but use GitHub for now. There might be more competitors coming in the future, but GitHub has been the gold standard for this for years. What GitHub allows you to do is basically upload your files exactly as they are and version control it. So it's like, this is version 1 of my website. It's saved forever. And then if we change the website and something goes awry, something goes wrong, we decide that we want to go back to version 1, we always can. And so you get to basically do like a giant, yes, I'm going to save the website exactly forever in this mode. And then version 2, yes, I'll save that. Okay, version 3. And as you iterate, you continually push to GitHub, and that's very important when building projects like this. Okay, look at this, an entire website. And yeah, so that last iteration took 1 minute and 16 seconds. Guys, a 5-minute website. And I could actually go start knocking on doors and say, hey, go to whatever blah, blah, blah.com. We didn't set up an actual URL to book a lawn mowing date. Kind of cool. And we could even implement a calendar on this for your customers to use. But you get the idea, and you can continually iterate on this forever. Next, I want to increase the intensity, the complexity, and I want to show you what it's like to build a game in Codex. Because there's a lot more rules to games than a simple website, and you should add a little bit of extra structure when making something like a game. But I don't want to build a game that I actually care about because I've got a bunch of ideas and I don't want to start working on it right now. So as we jump into this next project, I want to show you how to navigate it so that we can go into a new folder and start building our new game, and the different choices that you need to make and the structure that you needed to give Codex, the context, and yeah, let's start. I like to go up to the projects section, go up to this tiny little button, and click create new project. And you'd think that I would have already thought of a game to make, but what we're gonna do here, yeah, okay, no, I got it. We're gonna make a Tetris shooter. To be perfectly honest with you, I do not know what Tetris shooter even means. There's a whole bunch of choices that you need to make when you're building a game. One of them is your game engine. Are you gonna use Godot or Unity or Unreal Engine or something like that? Today, we're just gonna literally use a browser. It's actually one of the more powerful ways to prototype a game in the first place, because when we use a browser, Codex is able to open up the HTML file, just like we saw it do with the website, up on the side, and we can watch it test and iterate on the game right in front of us. And here is perhaps the greatest tip of the video. I want you to remember two different types of files. One is a PRD, which is a product requirement document, I believe. It's just a blueprint of what should be in the game. And then the other one is a bug squash document. This is going to save you so much pain, because when you're working with AI, it can be a frustrating experience to run into a bug that the AI can't solve. And it might just take message after message after iteration to finally get it done. And when you figure out the solution to a bug, which there will be bugs if you try to build something, you want your agent instructions to always know that it should record bugs that it has figured out the solutions for, just in case it runs into the same bug again. I think it's time to vibe code. And I know I went into plan mode last time, but this time we're just gonna wing it. And we're just gonna talk for a while about what this game might be. I'm gonna click the microphone right now. I want to create a game in a browser. So let's make it with JavaScript. And I want the inspiration of this game to be Tetris, but I also want to combine a shooter element to it. So let's make it behave like Tetris, but all the colors of the blocks need to be different cool shades. And I want the player's cursor, when they are mousing over the Tetris game, to have a crosshair. And they get a certain number of bullets based on the round that they're on. If they shoot a Tetris block, they can just break that block, I think is the gimmick here. Create a PRD file surrounding the different design elements of this. I want in that PRD to describe the game as pixel based, I don't want gradients in it for this version. I want the background to be black. I want it to kind of feel like an old time arcadey, like really old game, but with cool, fun gimmicks and animations that have a lot of juice, like modern juice. Like when the bullet comes out of the gun, there's like a nice crumbled explosion or like a ripple effect that comes out from when the bullet is shot. Also, create a bugsquash.md file for yourself in this project so that you can track bugs as we iterate through this game. If there's other questions that you need answered, ask me. But otherwise, yeah, I think we're ready to build the game. Let's just send it. All right, again, not even reading the text, and I'm just going to let Codex build. I have to tell you a little bit, this is not an inspired idea. I just came up with it out of nowhere. I have one plea for you as you are empowered with AI. Please, please, please try to build cool stuff. I will not be publishing this Tetris game. A lot of people are making a lot of stuff now, and it is because of AI. And the more people that put out stuff that they build very quickly, the more that it will be fairly called slop. So you can build quickly, but I just encourage you to iterate a lot. Truly make your projects yours. Give it a style, give it soul, give it a reason to exist. Because when you can build this fast, the goal is not to get a whole bunch of stuff out. It's the goal is to make the coolest stuff you possibly can, like make an impact. Notice that I didn't think of every single caveat here. I didn't even tell it what kind of controls I wanted to have, but I have this assumption that Codex is going to be able to figure this out without me. So let's let it build, and I will let you know in a second. By the way, it's been working for 2 minutes, and it has written 477 lines of code. Ridiculous. Wow, okay, way faster than I thought. It only worked for 2.5 minutes. I don't have a lot of hope for this, but let's see what this game is like. Wait a minute, okay. Okay, so I can do it with arrow keys and WASD. I can press down. Do you know how many times people have prompted AI to make Tetris? This is nothing new here. Now, I want to test see if I can get a Tetris line here. Okay, not very much fanfare. I think that's something that's like the first thing that I would iterate. But let's see. If I have like a really annoying block, let's say that I block myself here. Can I shoot it? Okay, it just breaks the one block. What I intended for was it to break the entire original block. So I think that's the first thing that I want to change. Other than, you know, this is kind of fun. I do not know how to code this. And, you know, as much as I don't like to admit it, I can't code. And yet I was able to build Tetris in 2 minutes. Okay, so I'm playing this game and I'm thinking to myself, what do I want changed? Well, I want sound and I want the shoot function to go the way that I intended for it. Let's stop playing and let's vibe code. Add sound effects to the game wherever appropriate, little blips and bloops. I have to get this. Nice. I want it to be that, and even if I stumble over my words, I'm going to keep it in. When I shoot a block, I want the entire original piece to blow up, not just the one square that I shoot. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, that vibe coding session started again. Since this is a somewhat small change, I guess I kind of expect it to not take that long to do. By the way, I absolutely love the colors that it went with. The orange, the blues, and the green. Oh, I kind of love it. There is so much more to say about Codex, but I wanted to focus this video on getting you started using it as fast as possible to go actually do the fun stuff. This channel that you're watching right now is very new, and I'm still deciding whether or not it's even worth it for me to spend the time to record these videos. So if you are watching it at this point, you need to share a comment with me at the bottom so that I have something to read. Oh, wait, Codex is done. Let's press restart. Oh yeah, restart's a button down here. Hopefully you can hear this, but yes, there are sound effects. Boop, 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 boop. I messed up one of these blocks here. So like, let me shoot these pink blocks. Yes, and it breaks both of them. It was just a quick little idea and it works. The point is, Codex can help you actually do your ideas. You can talk to Codex and say the dumbest stuff and it will figure it out. So there's absolutely no excuse to not start building an idea that even feels too hard. You can ask Codex, like, how can I even begin doing this? And it will talk you through it. It's time to build, and there's never been a time when someone dumber like me has been able to build such big things and have a good time. Check out Matthew Berman as well. I heard that his editor is super cool.